everybody, Midwest Picker here. Welcome to another What Sold on eBay video. My name is Dave. I'm a part-time reseller, part-time YouTube content creator. This is Joey. He's my CPA. Enoch up there is my advisor. So I work full-time as a nurse, full-time father, husband. I don't do this full-time. I have about 515 listings on eBay, which is like my personal record. But this is just a side hustle. I'm not self-employed, but it is a small part-time business. So this is a What Sold on eBay video. So why do we make these videos? I'm not the only one. Lots of people make these videos. The reason is because if you're new to reselling, or even if you're not, you don't want to waste your resources and your time and your money buying items to resell that don't sell. This builds up and you have death piles, or you have inventory, unlisted inventory, listed inventory that sits online, Mercari, Poshmark, Etsy, Amazon, Facebook Marketplace for 3, 4, 5 years. You don't want to get in that situation. You want to buy things that actually sell. So I'm going to show you what sold. Now in my videos, I do things a little bit differently. I tell you where I bought the item, what I paid for it, what it sold for, how it shipped, and a new feature, would I buy it again? And now a second new feature, did I sell it based on promoted listings or a sales promotion? So it's a lot of information, but that's okay because I only sold 11 items since the last What Sold on eBay video. So hopefully this information you find helpful. Real quick plug, I also make story videos. These are true stories that either happened to me or was there when they happened, called Midwest Picker Stories. It's linked down below in the description, the playlist. Some of them are just crazy. Some of them are gross, related to nursing and nursing home stories and medical stuff. Some are hilarious and funny. There are 70s, 80s, and 90s stories. It goes all the way back to my childhood. Some of them are more current. My most recent story video is about breaking the law. I don't recommend you do that, Joey. Don't break the law. Breaking the law, breaking the law. This first item that I sold was a big whoopsie. So it's kind of hilarious because I made a video about, I don't know, a year ago, how to sell medical supplies online or on eBay. And I'll link that video down in the description below. So being a registered nurse, I can find these medical supplies easily at garage sales, not so much flea markets or auctions, but thrift stores. They have lots of like Depends, incontinent products, and catheter bags and colostomy supplies, and people need this stuff. So I also said in this old video of mine, if you watch it, the audio is terrible, the lighting is terrible, but it's still good information. And basically you cannot sell anything that requires a prescription. So eBay's terms and conditions and policies don't allow that, and I'm sure the other platforms, Amazon, Mercari, and the others don't allow it either, but you have to know the policies and you have to know the rules. But basically, unless you want to be in eBay jail, don't list anything with a prescription requirement, and you'll know this when you look at the product. It'll have an RX on it. Now when you look up comps, you might see other people listing items for sale that have a prescription requirement on the product, or sold items. They actually sold items. Just because other people get away with it doesn't mean you should try. I highly recommend you don't do this. This was a big fat whoopsie. I saw these items in a thrift store. They were 99 cents, urinary drain bags. I got all excited. I looked up comps, and sure enough, there was hundreds of them that were sold. 7, 8, 9, 10 bucks a piece. Bunch of them listed for sale. I wasn't thinking. I got the FOMO, you know, fear of missing out. So I bought them, not thinking straight. I came home, I listed them. One guy recently bought 4 of them. So that was cool. They've been on my eBay store for months and months and months, and I finally sold some. And then after I sold it, I looked on my dashboard and I went to package it up, and I looked at the photo and I was like, oh crap, it says prescription right on it. So I broke my own rules and I actually got away with it, but I'm never going to do that again. So my recommendation is a big no. One reason that I kind of made my own mistake is that you can buy urinary drain bags, urinary supplies from big box pharmacies like Rite Aid, CVS, Walgreens, even Walmart Pharmacy. Here's a picture of a product from Walmart that you can just walk in off the street, pick it up off the shelf, buy it, and take it home. You'll notice on the package it does not say prescription required. It's a different brand, and it's slightly different than the one I had. So there are similar products that don't require a prescription, and then there's other products that are kind of the same thing that do require a prescription. So you have to be very careful. So I bought 6 of them at 99 cents a piece from a mom and pop thrift store. This guy paid $7.96 and he bought 4, so he did get a volume discount. I can't remember the exact amount he paid, around $32. This also sold with a 20% off sale promotion. Would I buy it again? No. Next is the Mary Kay lip gloss. You're probably sick of seeing this if you've been to my channel before. I've been selling a lot of Mary Kay. Cost of goods is $8, and you might be asking, if this is your first time here, why is your cost of goods $8 and you sold it for $10.36? Good question. This is my wife's personal supply. This is her Mary Kay. She doesn't use these or doesn't want these. She just handed me a box of it and said, here, sell them on eBay. So I'm basically getting my money back. This is not technically a flip. And this sold with free first class shipping because it only weighs 2 or 3 ounces. This sold with a 20% off sale promotion. And yes, I would recommend this to you if you can find these, obviously new, at a garage sale, estate sale in the bathrooms and stuff like that. If you can source it cheap, 99 cents or even $1 or $2, you can make really good money with pretty much anything Mary Kay. You what? Joey says he wants to help me source at the next estate sale. I'm not bringing you to an estate sale. There's just no way. What? He said if he was royalty, I would treat him differently. If you were royalty, I would treat you differently.
Look at that crown. I am a king. There it is right there. I've been right all along.
Anyway, back to what sold. Next is kind of weird. This is a lot of 4 French plates, maybe salad plates, I'm not sure. I got these from a high bid auction just about a week ago. I put them up on eBay and they sold like in 2 days. Cost of goods was $1.33 for all 4 plates. I got them at a pretty good price. I really didn't know what I was buying. When I went on high bid, you could see a picture of the Maker's Mark stamp on the back, and I did look up comps. Nothing exactly like what I had, but I knew they had some value. So for $1.33, I pulled the trigger and bought them. Should say I pulled the trigger and won the auction. I listed them for $24.95. I took a best offer of $19.95 plus priority mail shipping on top because these are kind of heavy. I would buy these again. They sold really fast and no promotions. I didn't promote them and there was no sale. They just sold. Next is the Zombies! Exclamation point. Belt buckle I got from Dawn 2 Hip Chicks for $4. So I went to her garage sale. Dawn and Mary had a garage sale. I broadcast a live video from that. I don't even remember. I think it was last summer. Bought a whole bunch of stuff from Dawn and Mary. I kept probably half of it. The wooden toolbox is really cool. I have that in my garage. This item and some Christmas ornaments I decided to flip. I listed it high for $19.96 because I really had no idea what the value was. But this was part of my 20% off sales promotion. And the sale price was $15.96 and someone sent me a best offer of $11. I don't know why I took it. That's a low ball offer. I just want to move them. I thought belt buckles sold better or faster, and I've got a bunch. Some of them do, and some of them don't. So I've had this for about a year, so I said, you know what, they're going to pay first class shipping anyways, so I took $11. And I would buy it again. Probably start out pricing it lower. But yeah, any belt buckle that has a theme to it, like Ford Motor Company, John Deere, Coca-Cola, Walt Disney, US Navy. If there's a particular theme, they will sell. If it's a generic belt buckle that's just got a duck on it or something, those tend to take a lot longer. I sold a pewter belt buckle for Caterpillar. So Caterpillar makes heavy earth moving equipment like bulldozers and backhoes and huge dump trucks and all that kind of stuff. And then the abbreviation is CAT, which is short for Caterpillar. Well, I had a pewter belt buckle with a big bulldozer on it, and pewter is pretty difficult to keep in good condition because it scratches and dents so easily. This was like in perfect condition from 1979. That sold for $50, so that was a huge score. Next one is this big, I call it a soup mug. This is Nightmare Before Christmas, kind of a Disney branded item. It's big for a coffee mug, probably too big. I think I put the word soup in the title, I'm not sure. Sourced it from a Goodwill for $4. Listed it for $17.95 and it sold for $13.46 as part of the 20% off sales promotion. And this is something that I would buy again. Next is the vintage, I think it's Concore, that's how you pronounce it. It's a model train car, HO gauge, still brand new in the box from 1998. I sourced this from that vintage toy auction, in-person auction that I went to. There's a previous video about that. I filled my car with Lionel trains, model train buildings, track, switches, just all kinds of stuff. And I have to tell you, as a side note, those model train buildings sell like crazy, especially the global shipping program. Apparently they love Americana from the 1940s, 50s, and 60s. These plastic buildings were broken with glue residue and dirt, and I called it a barn find, and they still sold. Cost of goods, when I divide all the stuff I bought by $200, this is about $1.87 for this item. I listed it high for $29.95. I took a best offer of $20 plus a flat rate $3 first class shipping because I knew it was light and it was about 5 or 6 ounces, no big deal. This was not promoted in any way, and I highly recommend vintage model train anything. If it's a car, an engine, a building, a track, a little tree, gates. Now, of course, if it's mechanical and has moving parts, you're going to have to test them. If it's a locomotive or if it's a gate that moves up and down with bells ringing. If you have no way of testing that, just list it for parts or repair only. You could try to test it with a 9-volt battery. Dawn, Two Hip Chicks, taught me that trick. So I did sell a few items where I wired up a 9-volt battery and it did work. But if you're not able to do that and you don't have the equipment to test it, don't be afraid to source them. If they look dirty, nasty, whatever, even parts or repair, they will sell good. Next are these 1939 tobacco cards. Cost of goods $2.17 for this set. I bought a ton of these at that vintage toy auction I was just talking about. I got 6 3-ring binders full of tobacco cards. I listed them for $39.95 because they are sweet cherry mint condition. 1939 tobacco cards. The corners are sharp, no staining, no dirt, no nothing. Perfect like the day they were made. They're beautiful. Sold for $31.96, part of a 20% off sales promotion. Shipping was free first class because it was only 4 ounces, and yes, I would definitely buy these again if you can get them at a good price. So this was a big set of them, divided out by all the sets and the 6 3-ring binders. It came out to $2.17. So yeah, don't overpay. Don't pay $10 or $20 for a set. But if you can get a whole set for nothing or cheap, definitely do it. Now, if you go to a garage sale, estate sale, things like that, you might see like a tin, like a cookie tin or cigar box or whatever, just full of buttons and pins and sewing supplies, and you might see these tobacco cards just scattered in there because a lot of people don't know what they are. But this was a collector, and he put them in these plastic sleeves and a 3-ring binder. He took very good care of them, so that's probably why I got such a good price. Next is another Mary Kay lip gloss. You heard the whole spiel. Cost of goods $8. I would buy it again, blah, blah, blah. Joey is impressed that I'm now a cosmetics dealer. So yes, again, if you can find these in the wild, especially a thrift store, if they're clean and they look like brand new, grab them. Next is a model train HO gauge tin metal building, and now that I think about it, this thing was kind of big. It was probably an O gauge building, but you know what? Collectors know the difference. They don't care. If you put HO gauge or O gauge or whatever and you kind of mess that up, they can figure it out by the picture and the dimensions you put in the description, so don't worry too much about getting that perfectly correct. Cost of goods $1.87, again from that in-person vintage toy auction. I listed it high because it's metal. Everybody loves metal. $29.95. Sold for $23.96, part of my 20% off sales promotion. Do you see a theme here? A lot of these items I sold, I put my whole store 20% off for 30 days, and people have different theories. It should be 7 days to create excitement and urgency. I just did 30 days, and holy cow, I sold a bunch of stuff. Plus priority mail shipping on top, and yes, I would definitely buy it again. And just as a side note, in my previous What Sold video, I sold 3 model train buildings through the global shipping program. If you're not using the global shipping program, you're missing out on the potential for increased international sales. Next is a D&D power belt. I'm so old I used to call them fan belts, but I guess they're called power belts now. Cost of goods 52 cents. I bought like 38 of these brand new in the package from a high bid auction. Unfortunately, belts, even though they're cool and they're brand new, they're not worth a lot of money. They're super inexpensive. I listed it for $9.95 and it sold for $7.96 with the 20% off sales promotion. And free first class shipping because it only weighs like 4 ounces. So I didn't make a lot of money on this one. Would I buy brand new power belts in the package again? Probably not. And the reason is the ROI, or return on investment, is extremely low, and they're very specific. There are thousands of different kinds of power belts for different kinds of automobiles, motorcycles, snowmobiles, snow throwers. I mean, all the power equipment that requires a belt. It has to be a specific size and model number, and it's just difficult to find that right person. Most people who need a power belt just go on Amazon or their local auto parts store and they buy it. So these 36 belts, I got them cheap, 52 cents a piece, but they're going to take forever to sell. I think I've sold like 4 or 5 out of the 36. And it's been like 3 or 4 months, so it's probably going to take me a couple years to sell them all, if I sell them all. Next is Dead Apocalypse deck building game. I had no idea what this thing was. I was at a Salvation Army and they had 12 of them. Now, thank goodness I only bought 4. They were $4 a piece. I'd never heard of them. Looking up comps was like nearly impossible. This was like a board game company that went out of business. Looks like a cool game. People still play these role-playing games, board games, the little pieces. There's all different kinds of games out there. These were sealed brand new in the package, so I thought, you know what, I'm just going to test the waters, and I bought 4. I think I've sold 3 out of 4, but it took me like 6 months. I listed it for $59.95 because, like I said, the asking price was all over the place, from $20 to $190, and the solds were no help at all. So I saw some people sold them for more or less. I'm just going to go right down the middle, so I listed it for $59.95. It sold for $47.96 through the 20% off promoted sales program. Again, another sale. I think that really helps a lot. And free first class shipping. It just squeaked in at 14 ounces. Would I recommend it? Gosh, I don't know. Discontinued board games sealed in the package, if you can source them for $4 or less, probably. When I did go back to the Salvation Army like a month later, all the rest were gone, so somebody else snagged them up. So they don't take up a lot of space, so I would probably buy it again. That's the video, guys. I hope you liked the information about where I sourced it, how much I paid for it, did I use promoted listings or sales or anything like that. Let me know down in the comments if that information is helpful. It seems like out of these 11 items, a lot of them sold because of the 20% off sale. I don't often do 20%. Sometimes I'll do 10 or 15. And I do promote my items. Maybe half the items in my store I promote at 2%. And I think one item I forgot to mention in here did sell both with the 20% off sale and the 2% promoted, so I took a big cut on that one. So that's the video, guys. I hope you liked it. Let me know down in the comments. Do you have any questions about any of the items I sold, or where I sourced them, or how I sourced them? Give it a big thumbs up. And if you're brand new here, please hit the subscribe button and the bell icon. That way when I upload new content or a new Midwest Picker story, you'll get a notification. So that's it, guys. Until next time, see ya.